Now you've got your InDesign project all finished, and now it's time to export. And you want to export as a PDF. But there's lots of settings in that export PDF window, so let's talk about what these look like a little bit. I've got a couple examples here we're going to discuss. Our first one is a magazine spread with a cover page, and our second one is a postcard. I'm going to start over here on the magazine spread. Now, a couple things are important before you actually export, and that will start with our layers. Depending on, I'm going to cut the eyeball off here for visibility, what layers might be turned on versus turned off is a setting you might adjust when you export. And then if you have layers that are all printable layers, I'm going to double click on this one up top here. If I uncheck print layer and hit OK, you'll notice that that layer becomes italic and it becomes a non-print layer right now. So that might be something you also see in your exports, are your print layers versus your non-print layers. I'm going to turn it back on so it's actually a print layer. And then things that might be hidden where the eyeballs for visibility are turned off versus what is turned on. So let's look at the defaults and then let's look at some changes we can possibly make. I've got everything ready here to export from my magazine. I'm going to go to my top menus and go to File and come down and choose Export. Keyboard shortcut is also Command E or Control E if you're on a Windows. Now when our export window pops up, obviously make sure you got it named correctly for whatever your file is, in the correct folder of where you want it to be exported to. And then for our format, we've got several options here to choose from. We're going to focus on the PDF format and specifically in the print format for right now. So Adobe PDF Print is my choice of format, and then click on Save. When your export PDF window opens, it's probably going to reset to high quality print. The first thing is there's several presets in there. If I hit that drop down arrow for press quality, smallest file size, and then there's some presets that I have made for different settings for marks and bleeds or no compression. So the first thing is your preset at the top. As we come on down, the next section to really pay attention to is pages. Do you want to export all of these pages that we see here, or do you want to do a range? Maybe I want to export just the second and the third page. So instead of it saying all pages, I can highlight that area and I can do a range of 2 to 3, and now it's only going to export page 2 and page 3. So you got options there in terms of what you want to export for all your pages or a range of pages. And then the next part right below that is how those pages look. Are you going to export as pages or as spreads? Now what does that mean? If I export as pages, then my cover page, my first page on the inside here, which was page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, all will show up as one single item as opposed to in a spread like I have here for my display. I'll show you what that one looks like first, so we'll leave that on pages. For our viewing, under the default, if I hit that, you'll see you've got lots of things there. The actual size, we can fit to a certain page or a width or a height. You can change it to a percentage in terms of what it looks like in the viewing. For our layout, single page goes along with what we just said. Single page continuous for the scroll. 2 up facing or cover page would be one I would use for the spread if I want to keep it side by side. So those are settings in there for our viewing and for our view and layout. A couple of other ones in here. Do we want to open in full screen mode? Do we want to view the PDF automatically after exporting? So that's a fun one to do. It opens it automatically for you so you don't have to double click on it to open it up. Some of the options that are over here as presets: optimize for fast web view, preserve for InDesign editing capabilities, export layers. I'm going to look at this one. So it will probably be default to all layers, which is going to do all of these layers that we mentioned before. But if you remember, I talked about, well, what if you have the eyeball off for visibility for a hidden layer? And what if you have some layers that are not actually for print? If you've designated some of your layers set up that way, you can make some changes here in terms of how you're exporting. So you can export all of your layers regardless of whether they are turned on or turned off or print layers or non-print layers. You can do just your visible layers. So if you do have that eyeball turned off for visibility, it will not do those. Or you can choose to do just the ones that are visible and those print layers. So if you had something that was a non-print layer, it won't do that. So that's an option to choose for you as well, depending on how you've got your layers set up and what you're looking to export. Down at the bottom, several options you can include down here. Hyperlinks if you have a website listed on one of your pages. Showing those visible guides and grids that you create. You can have those show up if you want to see those. A lot of these, depending on how you export, might be as somebody's looking at it in terms of continuing to work on it, or seeing what your layout is. So depending on what your purpose is of your PDF, will determine some of these other items that you click down in here and whether you include interactive elements or not. So let's take a look at this one first. So it's our default mainly for all of our viewing stuff. For our pages, we chose to export as pages versus spreads. The only thing I really checked in here to change was to view that PDF after exporting, so I don't have to open it by double clicking on it. Let's hit export and see what this one looks like. So as soon as it exported, it opened up my preview for me to look at this PDF. Notice again, so our cover page is up here, but as I scroll, as mentioned, it's going to break these pages up. Left side, right side, left side, right side, in one singular continuous scroll. I want to export these so I actually see my spread. So that's one example of how we had everything set up for our export settings. Let's try a different one now to get a different look. So back here now, this is the view that I want to get out of InDesign. I want to match this as my PDF export. To do that, let's go back. File and Export. I'm going to put a 1 after this one just so we know that it's a different version of our first one that we did. Still going to choose that Adobe PDF print and save it in my correct folder. Click on Save. When our Export PDF window opens up, I'm going to reset this preset. I'll hit that drop down arrow and go back to that high quality print. I'm going to choose under my Pages section. I do want all of my pages to export. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all my pages. I want them to export as spreads this time, so it'll show that left and right together. For my viewing, I want to see what the actual size is going to be. So I'm going to choose actual size for that one. Again, you can choose it for any of these others depending on what you're looking for. And the layout view, I want that 2-up continuous with the cover page because I have that front page, in this case from a magazine. I want that cover page to be separate like that, and then I want my spreads to be side by side as I see them here. So I want that 2-up continuous cover page in this example. If I didn't want that PDF to open automatically, we'll show you in this case, I'm going to uncheck that. So in this case, it won't open up and I'll have to double click to open it up. For my export layers, I could choose visible, printable, or just visible, but all of my layers are turned on and they're all print layers. So in this case, I'm going to use all layers. Again, that will vary depending on what your project is set up as. I don't have any hyperlinks or other areas down in here. Again, depending on what you were going to do, you might turn some of those things on. Once you've made some of these settings, so we're going to see it as a spread, we're going to see it as 2-up continuous, and we're going to have to double click this time to open it up, and for all of our pages and all of our layers. Let's see what this one looks like. Click on Export. So notice it did not open automatically for me this time. So I have to go into my project folder. The magazine spread 1 is the one we just exported here, so I'm going to double click to open it up. And now in my preview, I've got that cover page isolated, but now I have my 2-page spread for the rest of my items for the pages of my magazine, which is what I wanted to see it that way as a spread view versus our other view, which was that singular page 1 by 1 by 1. So those are some settings to pay attention to when you're exporting spreads from InDesign. Now let's take a look at a single document and some things that we can do here. I'm going to go and export again, so File and Export. Again, make sure you're in your proper folder, choose that Adobe PDF print, and click on Save. And I'm going to reset my settings over here, changing that to my high quality print. Now, unless you're asked by your teacher or a printer to only turn in certain pages or only submit certain pages, you would choose the range for that for your pages. But for the most part, you'll leave all your pages there selected, and then you'll export as pages or spreads. This particular project is set up as individual pages, not facing pages. So we're going to export this one as pages. For our viewing, I am going to leave it for the defaults here. There's nothing specific I need to look at anywhere for this one. So I'll leave that one as default, and I'll leave my layout as default as well. We've covered basically why you would use some of these other ones in here if you have a cover page for a magazine or just regular facing pages. I'm going to click back on that View PDF after exporting, and I'm going to leave all of my options the same and all of my include other items here the same, but I am going to move over here to this left area. Some other areas and some things you'll see as we do some projects will be compression. And to make sure all of these images are not compressed and they're sharp and they're clear and they're high resolution, I'm going to change the compression settings over here. And so if you have a lot of photographs within your InDesign project, this might be something you might want to do before you export it as a PDF. All of these color and grayscale and monochrome images are going to downsample a little bit. I'm going to choose not to downsample. So I'm going to choose do not downsample for color images, for grayscale images, and for my monochrome images. And I'm also going to choose not to compress it at all. So I'm going to change that compression from a JPEG to none anywhere where it asks for compression. And even down at the bottom, I'm going to choose no compression too. Now what that's going to do is it's going to increase your file size, but it's also going to guarantee you don't have any pixelization on these images when they're exported as that PDF. So compression might also be something that you do when you export as a PDF. One other thing on the left hand side over here we're going to look at is marks and bleeds. So marks and bleeds are going to be those printer marks that when you send it off to a professional print shop, they know where it's going to be cut or where it's going to be cropped, if it's mass produced, where those bleed marks are, registration marks and color bars to kind of help them set and align everything up on the cutters for their machines, and then any page information. In this case, it'll just be your title and other information you might want to put in there. If you do have a bleed in there, we do have a bleed set up on this where it's going to cut and so these images go to the edge. So you'd want to make sure you use those bleed and slug settings that you use to create in this document. And if you did have a slug, any information you were leaving for the printer, you'd want to include that. So let's do that in this case right here too. So we already changed our compression. For our marks and bleeds, I'm going to turn on all these printer marks. So it shows all of them. I do want to use the document bleed settings because I set up special bleed settings when I created this document at the very, very beginning. And I don't have a slug, but if I did, I would include that there as well. So now we made a couple different changes. Let's see what this looks like. Click on export. Now because I had that checkbox for it to automatically open my PDF, it did open in my preview again. My images are high quality resolution. I've got my cut marks for where my bleed is, so my printer knows exactly where to cut those. The registration marks, the color bars, so they can set and align everything up for the color printing and where everything is going to be cut. And I've got my document information down here as well that was included with my marks and bleeds. And again, we did not have a slug, so that one did not show up. So when you're exporting your project as a PDF, there's lots of things to keep in mind when you're exporting. So get used to using this window to export whether you need individual pages, a range of pages, a regular page or a spread view, a 2-up continuous with a cover page, to open that PDF automatically after you export, what types of layers you have, any additional things like hyperlinks or interactive elements you're using, if you want to change the compression to no compression, and if you need to include marks and bleeds. These are all things you want to get used to whenever you're exporting something from InDesign as a PDF for print.